Hello, everyone. My name is Bill Dowie, and I'm the Business Development and Marketing Specialist for Stone Edge Technologies. I'm joined today by Kevin Horowski, our Stone Edge Project Manager. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to attend today. This should go for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll do a Q&A at the end. I want to respect everybody's time, so if we don't get to your question, we will follow up with you via email. Kevin, go ahead and get us started with the advanced shipping webinar.
All right, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Kevin Horowski, and I'm the product manager at Stone Edge. In today's webinar, we're going to review some of the newer shipping features that have been recently added to Stone Edge. And as my coworker Bill mentioned, at the end of the webinar, we'll do a brief question and answer session. If at the end of the webinar you have any questions about anything that's been discussed today, please reach out to support for more information. We can answer any questions you have or provide you with any type of documentation we have related to any of these new features. The newest feature we've added to Stone Edge is the ability to print USPS return labels. And I'm going to start off by demoing this feature. The USPS return labels can be printed from both view orders and advanced view orders under shipping. There's a new button that's been visible in the last couple of releases, just titled Print Return Label. When this form opens, you'll notice that there's two different addresses on the screen. There's a ship to information and the ship from information. The ship to information is going to be your address. This is who the customer is. This is going to be where the customer is sending the return. And then on the right-hand side of the screen, that's your customer's address information. This data can be modified, and then you can also validate the addresses to confirm that everything is accurate. On the bottom of the screen, you're going to notice that there's a section for dimensions and weights, and also for the return service. The dimensions and the weights are being, in my example, are being pre-populated with the values of the original shipment on the order, but these are fields that you can also change on the fly. Keep in mind that your customer may send their order back to you in a different size box, or if it's a multi-item order, they're only sending you one item back, then the weight that would be defaulted here isn't going to be accurate. So what we're looking at right now is it's not a big deal if the weights and dimensions aren't 100% accurate, because USPS will determine the proper weights and dimensions once the shipment is scanned into their system. When we do print out the return label, there is going to be a rate that gets returned, but that's also just going to be an estimate, and USPS will go through and update the rate for the shipment accordingly for any discrepancies. The default service for the returns, we have support for the three services that are available: Priority Mail Return Service, Priority Mail Express Return Service, and Ground Advantage Return Service. There's a setting that you'll be able to configure so that you can default which service type you want to always use. But just like most other settings in Stone Edge, even though it defaults to one thing, you always have the ability to change it to something else. Once the address information, your weights and dimensions, and the return service is selected, to actually print the return label, you just click on this blue printer button. Once you do this, you're going to be prompted and asked if you want to email the customer. Stone Edge is going to generate an email that contains the order information that has both the ship from information and the ship to information, the service type being used, and lastly, the email is going to contain a link to the return label. So when your customer would receive this email, they'd be able to click on the link and print out the label themselves and apply it to their package for when they're ready to mail it back to you. By default, Stone Edge just has a generic email template that's called returnlabel.txt. But just like all the other email templates within Stone Edge, you can go into the email template editor and make any type of modifications you'd like to the email template. You can add your own branding, you can add HTML to it, you pretty much make the email template look like anything that you can imagine. If you're not going to use Stone Edge to email your customer the link to the return label, We do have the ability where you can choose to just copy the URL and then you can apply it to, or you can enter it, I should say, into your uh, other email application. To do that, we just click cancel here. I'm not going to send the email. Back on the tracking record, if you want to copy the URL to the label, you would just select the tracking number that's for the return. And as we can see, this one, the new column for return label will signify which tracking number it is. But if we select the tracking number, all we'd want to do is just click reprint label. And then this copies the URL to the label. And then, as I previously mentioned, you'd be able to then just copy and paste it into your other email application. So for the USPS return labels, there's a new section in the shipping setup called return label options. That's where you can set a different return address, but then you can also set things like your default email template and also the default return service. The return labels can only be printed from view orders and advanced view orders. And we support the three main return services: Ground Advantage, Priority Mail, and Priority Mail Express. And StoneEdge can and will generate an automated email to send to your customers with the tracking link that they can then print out. And as I mentioned, you can modify that email template to include your branding so that everything looks similar to other emails that get sent from StoneEdge. Now we're going to move on to shipping markups. Um, StoneEdge allows you to mark up the rates you quote customers for shipping by a flat dollar amount or a percentage of the shipping rate that gets returned while you're rate shopping. This is useful to some of our customers uh, because they want to be able to include the cost of the packing materials like the box, packing peanuts, things like that. They want those to be included in the amount that they're going to be charging to their customers. We also have the ability to mark up the costs of shipments when you're determining which shipping method you want to use at the time of shipping. You can choose to save this marked up amount as the cost in the tracking record, or if you do want to just save the real cost from the shipping system, you can choose to have that saved as your cost. For the markups, you have the ability to set them for the main three carriers: USPS, UPS, and FedEx. They can each have their own amounts. One can have a flat dollar amount markup, one can have a percentage. You can choose to only include or to only have rates from USPS include the markup. But for UPS, maybe you want to have the cost from UPS include the markup. To get to this markup section, you just go into the shipping setup, and this is under the shipping defaults option. That'll be on the left-hand menu. We've made a few enhancements in StoneEdge to help save you time and simplify reconciling your shipments that have been from StoneEdge. We've added the ability to now export the shipping billing history from the shipping screen to a text file or a CSV file. We've also added a new shipping report just called Shipping History, which you can access under the main Print Reports menu. This report's going to show you high-level information about the shipments, which includes the ship date, the order number, the tracking number, carrier, shipping method, and the shipping cost. There's also a summary section on this report that would show you the total number of shipments and the total cost of the shipments. The report itself can be filtered by date and by carrier, or you can choose to include all carriers if you'd like. Besides being able to print shipping labels with default options like signature settings and insurance, we also do allow you to set some special services. Some of these options include Saturday delivery, shipping with third-party accounts, dry ice shipments, and most recently, we added support for domestic hazmat shipping through USPS. When you're under the special services section, you'll be able to see which carriers support each of the special services, as not all are supported for all of them. For example, hazmat, right now we only support for USPS, but from the screenshot you can see for dry ice, that is only supported with FedEx and UPS. One of the other newer, larger features that we've added is support for customer pickup orders. There may be times when you have a local customer who's just going to come to your location to pick up their order. We now have the ability where you can use the existing packing system to pack those customers' orders and print out a packing slip or pick ticket type report, which shows the order information. You can then send the printout aside with their packed order to make locating their order easier to find once they do finally arrive to pick up their order. For this functionality to work, there's minimal setup. One thing you need to do is just create a new shipping method in the shipping setup, and then you have to turn on the flag for it for do not ship this order. Then when you go into the shipping forms, you'd either be able to select it in list view or use the search box to search for it by order number. And then the order itself will come up on the screen just like any other order. It'll look exactly like it's an order that you are intending to ship. The difference comes once you actually pack all the items on the order. There's going to be a new packing slip pick ticket that prints out. It's going to just contain the customer's contact information and just the basic order information like the order numbers and the order dates. This packing slip or pick ticket that does print is designed for a 4x6 thermal printer. Lastly, while it's not a newer feature, StoneEdge does offer discounted insurance for all shipments. Through our partnership with UPIC, we can offer you insurance for shipments that cost less than going through carriers directly. Uh, You do have the ability to turn insurance on or off for individual shipments, or you can set a minimum dollar amount for the declared value, where then any shipments over that amount will have insurance automatically applied to them. To keep track of what shipments have insurance applied to them, there's a report called shipping insurance. This is also just available under the main reports, print reports menu. This will show you which orders insurance was applied to, and then also what the cost of the insurance was for that shipment. And just to give you a generic example of how much you can save by using our insurance versus insurance directly through USPS, if you went to them, we did a $400 order, and based off of our built-in insurance, that shipment would be $4.36 as compared to $6.85 if you went through USPS directly. So that's close to a $2.50 savings on that shipment alone. So you can see how it is a huge difference. So if you're not currently insuring shipments or if you're using some other service, definitely look into what you're being charged, and hopefully our rates are competitive and better, and you'd be able to switch to our insurance instead. But to learn more about our insurance or to sign up for our insurance, just reach out to our sales team and they'd be able to get you set up and configured with that.
Okay, so we're on to the shipping Q&A. If you're listening right now, go ahead and just put some questions into the chat. I actually have one right here. What does it cost to use the StoneEdge shipping system? Do you offer any type of discounted rates? Kevin, I can actually just answer that. So there's no additional costs to shipping with StoneEdge. I know some people in the past have used third-party shipping and they're being charged for that. StoneEdge does not charge you for using our shipping or for integration with shipping carriers. Not only that, we have the deepest discounted USPS rates available. And then, as Kevin just explained, we also have discounted shipping insurance. So, to just give people an idea of what that looks like, if you ship 30 packages per day and save $2 per package, our rate shopping and time in transit rate shopping feature would save you over $1,800 over the course of a month. So that would actually just cover the cost of using StoneEdge as effectively free. And then you expand that out over the course of a year, and you're talking about saving thousands of dollars. And that's just if you assume 30 packages per day and only $2 per package. I know we have clients that are doing a lot more than that and seeing a lot more savings. And the other thing I just want to mention is the time in transit rate shopping. This is something that StoneEdge offers that I know a lot of our competitors don't offer. And you can actually set your rate shopping across carriers to optimize for your delivery time. So you can guarantee 2-day delivery, and the software will actually pick the cheapest rate available to guarantee that 2-day delivery. And that can be even better than the cross carrier rate shopping. So it's a really good savings. The other thing that I want to say about that is if you're interested in the time in transit rate shopping feature, we do have a knowledge base article about that. So I can put that in the chat and we can follow up with you over email if you're interested in that. And full support for Amazon shipping is coming soon. It's built, and we're looking for beta testers who can help us get through the certification. So if you're shipping through Amazon, just let us know, and if you would be interested in helping us beta test that feature. Let's see, I have another question here. For Kevin, for customer pickup orders, can we have the packing slip be formatted for an 8.5 by 11 printer? And will it take into account attributes on inventory such as pack separate and serial numbers?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we can definitely modify the new report that was designed for 4 by 6 to be a full 8.5 by 11. It would require a customization, but that is something that we can do. You can tell us exactly what you'd want it to look like, and we can design it based off of your needs. And this could be helpful to some people because the 4 by 6 label, as you saw in the screenshot, only included things like the order number, the order date, the customer's information. It didn't include anything about the actual items that were packed. So some people may have a need where they want to be able to see the line item information, and we can definitely add that into an 8.5 by 11 printout. I think if we try to add it to the 4 by 6 report, that would have just taken up too much space. That's why we didn't include it. And then for the second part to that question about the inventory attributes, the answer is yes. If you have items flagged as packed separately or require serial numbers, you still do get the same prompts as you would as if you were actually printing a shipping label. It would make you, for serial numbers, it would make you enter the serial number before being able to pack the items.
Cool. Thanks so much, Kevin. I did have a question. Here, someone asked, will this recording be available to show my coworkers? Yes, we will make this recording available for everyone who signed up and attended today. Just be on the lookout for that after the webinar is over. Kevin, another question I have here is, what if I don't know the weights and dimensions of the return package?
All right. Yeah, this is another great question because even though you ship something to the customer, for example, in a 2 pound box that's 5 by 5, when the time comes for them to ship it back to you, they may just go to the post office and put it in one of the soft pack envelopes or whatever they actually I'll call that packaging. So the weights and dimensions aren't all that important. We recommend that you do try to enter the weights and dimensions in the Stone Edge that might be close to what you're expecting or how you're expecting your customer to mail you back the shipment. The one thing I did mention was is you'll be quoted one amount at the time of printing the return label, but then if the customer mails it back to you in a huge package or a smaller package than what you were expecting, USPS will make adjustments to your account for that based off of the tracking number for that return label. So while they're not required, it doesn't need to be 100% accurate. Do ask that we recommend that you do try to put in some type of weights or dimensions that are, somewhat close to how you think your customer is going to be mailing you the shipment.
Okay. Thanks, Kevin. Another one I have here is, how do I print a USPS return label from the shipping screen?
As of right now, we only allow you to print the return labels from view orders and advanced view orders. And the reason for that is that during the development stage and planning stage, we realized that printing of return labels is more of a customer service type function rather than a warehouse function.
Okay.
So you might be on the phone with the customer. They're telling you they want to return your package, they want to return the package. You're generating the return label for them right at that point as you're on the phone. Now, there may be some people who do a mix of customer service work and warehouse work where the argument might be, let's also include it in the shipping system. But as it stands right now, there are no plans to add it into the shipping system. But if it's something that people would want or they can give us a good reason as to why they think it should be included in the shipping system as well, then we could definitely go back and discuss that internally and see if adding it makes sense.
Okay. And then I have another question here. I can actually answer this one. Can we print return labels for S and FedEx? And right now that is not available. However, it is possible to code and program. So if that is something, returns for UPS and FedEx is something that you would be interested in, just reach out to our sales team and we can have a conversation about custom programming that for you, if that would be something that you would be interested in. With that, it is 1:24. I do want to respect everybody's time here. So if we did not get to your question today, do not worry. We will follow up with you over email and we will send out this recording to everyone who attended today so you can show your coworkers and anybody who couldn't make it today. So thank you so much, everyone, for attending the Stone Edge Advanced Shipping webinar. We really appreciate your time and thank you so much.